Good morning, everybody. Thank you for being here with us. Super excited to be chatting with you guys very shortly. Our webinar will start in a moment. We're still waiting for some of our customers to come in. So stay tuned. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Hello, everybody. I want to do a quick housekeeping for today's webinar. We're going to have a lot of Q&A, so we're hoping this is a very interactive session. So please do look for that Q&A button. And please leave some of your questions there. Sometimes we might not be able to hit all the questions during the session, but we'll for sure get back to you after that. Now, another really cool thing, as some of you might have already seen on the cover of our webinar, we're going to be giving away this awesome clipboard limited edition. I'm just kidding. We're actually going to give away, if you stay till the very end of the webinar, our 27-inch VG58 monitor. So I'm super excited to tell you more. Without further ado, I want to show you a quick video. Hello, everybody. This is Kenneth from ViewSonic. Thank you so much for being here with us today. We're going to be introducing some of our brand new monitors that has docking capabilities, and I personally believe it's going to take your connectivity, workflow, and productivity to the next level. But before we start, I want to take this opportunity to take you through a quick tour of our user experience center here at our headquarters in Brea, California. Behind me, you see some of our projection technologies. They include LEDs, laser, short throw, ultra short throw. They're great for conference rooms, classrooms, even auditoriums. But most of you know ViewSonic as the desktop display company. We have been the industry leader for almost 40 years. I want to showcase some of our brand new product offerings. For example, on the professional ones on my left. These are color critical monitors, are pre-calibrated out of the factory. They're great for content creation, marketing, with its high color accuracy and high resolution. Now, on this corner here, if we go follow me, you see some of the custom-built gaming stations. The ViewSonic gaming displays are great for gameplays, competitions, esports and education, and even engineering work because of its high resolution and high refresh rate. What's on top are some of our new portable displays. The portable monitors has become a very popular option for folks who are on the road all the time. The compact size and the added screen real estate is a great productivity booster, and you can just shove it into your backpack and carry it with you all the time. Now follow me. I'm going to take you to one of my favorite corners in our demo center. This is our workstation, productivity workstation for everyday office use. We start with some of the high-resolution displays, large screen size, 32-inch, 38-inch. They're great for multitasking because of its high resolutions. Now, this is a 43-inch. As you can see, we have 4 different signals displaying at the same time. Great for surveillance or security applications. Moving to this corner, you see some of the more specialized displays. This one here is actually one of our Windows Hello certified and Zoom certified conference room display. They're great for conference room use, but the Windows Hello capability is going to allow you to be able to log in with biometric certification. You see the rain light with the camera. It's a great feature, so you always look the best. And when you don't need it, you just simply press it and tuck it away, protect your privacy. Now, this display here, while it looks normal from the front, actually has a privacy filter built in, right? When you move to the side, any of the sensitive information is being protected by the built-in privacy filter, which cannot be removed. Now, it's great for hospitals or financial institutions where information protection is super important. Now, let's move to this corner here, where you get more options. This one is a 34-inch ultra-wide curved display with front-facing speakers. It gives you really good audio, and it's a great productivity tool with its ultra-wide aspect ratio and the larger screen size. Now, if you're looking for something a little bit more traditional, we have your 27-inch 1080p, which is really a workhorse for everyday office use. Now, moving on, when we have some of the touch options I want to talk to you guys about, what you see here are 2 projected capacitive touch displays. They're great for kiosk or just regular office use. And we've built-in dual hinge displays for this particular option that enables a much natural touch interaction. Now, that's just a quick tour of our monitor section in our experience center. I would love to take you guys to the next sections later on. But for today, let's head back to our webinar. I can't wait to talk to you about our new monitors. Welcome back, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that little quick tour. We use our Experience Center for customers and partners. I'm looking forward to seeing some of you in the future. Now, why are we here today? We're here to introduce you to our brand new VG58 series. It's loaded with connectivity. Like I said in the video, I really do believe is really taking us to a big leap in terms of connectivity and productivity. And also, we're going to be sharing our Thunderbolt 4 display too, and potentially a little bit of a roadmap going forward. But I'm not going to be doing that alone. I actually have several of our colleagues joining me in a little bit. But before I go there, I do want to show you this really cool video of our brand new VG58 series of monitors. Take a look. Well, welcome back again. I guess everybody has seen enough of me. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce my colleagues, Jeff Muto and also Alex Lane, who will be joining us and be actually going through some really cool features and open box for us today. I'm going to pass it on to them for their own introductions. Jeff, go ahead.
Thank you, Kenneth. Good morning. I'm Jeff Muto, Director of Product for ViewSonic Americas. And I'm very excited to be here today to talk about the VG58s. Although I don't get to use one yet on my desk, I do have a dual USB-C docking station setup. So I'm very excited to tell you about the features and benefits and how you can really leverage this to improve your productivity.
Thank you, Jeff. Alex, please go ahead.
Yeah, hi everybody. My name is Alex Lane. I am the Associate Product Manager for monitors here at ViewSonic. I'm really excited to talk to you today about the VG58s as well as our Thunderbolt monitors and just my experience with monitors. I am a gamer. I like to use multiple monitors, multiple setups, kind of depending on what I'm doing. And I'm really excited to share kind of the roadmap of what that looks like.
No, thank you guys. And this is a group of people that really sort of geek out, when we're working and trying to find solutions and build products. So I'm super grateful for you guys to spend the time with us today. Now, I know every product development is we start from research and understanding market and usage. So I really want to touch on, maybe Jeff, help us to understand as we built these new generations of connectivity monitors and, really built for productivity. Connectivity really has changed quite a bit over the last years. And can you share, especially USB-C, right, as you kind of alluded to a little bit earlier, can you share a little bit of that journey and how that market has evolved?
Yeah, so I think in the past, you might have had a laptop or even a desktop that connected via HDMI or DisplayPort. I think more recently, especially with a lot of laptops, I think all of the laptops in our office actually only have a USB-C port now. And the reason is it's a much smaller connector, so it's a lot more convenient. It's also carries data, so video, audio, data, as well as power delivery. And it's a bidirectional cable, so that's one of the huge improvements of USB-C over everything else. So just the convenience of how it is to just get up, grab a single cable, plug it into your device and go. And you see that also with smartphones and tablets too. So adoption of USB-C for various endpoints has increased in the last few years.
No, that's really good point. And I remember you telling me about that data where because of the endpoints have USB-Cs, now the monitors with USB-Cs has increased also dramatically, and that's probably the reason why we're here too. But on that point, Jeff, you talked about like a dual monitor setup, and you're a busy person. You have a lot of different data documents you have to process and deal with every day. But share a little bit about, when it comes to multi-monitor setups and productivity. I mean, connectors, usually we don't really link connectors with productivity per se, but actually it's a big part of that, facilitation. Can you share a little bit about productivity and connection and how maybe multi-monitor setup now is really kind of catching up with the mainstreams?
Yeah, definitely. So, we've seen research, and research shows that between and various research, actually, a lot of people are doing research on it. So, anywhere from 10 to 50% productivity gains from using a dual display setup. And the reason for that is obviously you've got more real estate. So, with more real estate, you can open up more applications. You can open up more windows. It's easier to move applications and things over from one screen to another. Imagine just working on a PowerPoint, and rather than having to flip through on a single screen, you could have the web browser where you might be doing some research on one screen and then manipulating your slides on the other. If you're doing spreadsheets, you can even extend it across both displays. So there's so much that you can do with a dual display setup. And depending on what your application is, whether you're a designer, whether you're just a business person, whether you're an engineer, there's something for everyone.
Absolutely. And I'll add to what Muda just said, like when you're talking about information workers, and there is a huge ask of up our productivity. And I've seen Alex actually working on 3 monitors at the same time, so multi-monitor setups, starting with dual actually brings a lot of productivity. No, thank you, Jeff, so much for that. And, in terms of facilitating, dual monitor setups, I mean, there's so much there, and we're going to unfold quite a bit today. Now, some of you might hear this term. I'm going to turn it to Alex. We say VG58 series is our docking monitors. And I guess maybe we can clear the air a little bit. What is docking monitor? Alex, can you just share, maybe give us a good definition. What is a docking monitor?
Yeah, so it's super simple. A docking monitor is a monitor that has a docking station built into it. So whatever you need on a docking station, that's going to be like your RJ45 Ethernet port, your USB-C with power delivery up to 100 watts. You're going to have a USB hub with a range of different amounts of USB-A connectors, as well as USB-B connectors, and then also an audio jack if you want to connect speakers or headsets directly to your monitor.
Got it. No, that's really cool. So the RJ45 is very important. Now, Alex, to help us understand why is it beneficial to have a docking capability built into your monitor?
Yeah, so there's actually 3 reasons that you would probably want a docking station monitor instead of a separate dock. The first one is going to be compatibility. So sometimes your laptop, your desktop have updates, your monitor has firmware updates, the dock itself might have firmware updates, and anytime there's updates, there's a risk of kind of desyncing the devices where there's no longer compatibility. So by putting the docking station into the monitor, we can ensure that the docking station is always going to be compatible with the monitor. So that's one less thing you have to worry about. Then after that is kind of your total cost of ownership. And that's something we're going to be talking about a lot in moving forward. But if you are getting a separate docking station, that can run you $100, $200, $300 per docking station, depending on what connectivity you're looking for. And by putting it into the monitor, we're giving you a lot of that cost savings back. And then the third thing is you just get a much cleaner look. You don't have to have that dock on your desk showing all the wires being connected to it. It's a lot easier to put it in the monitor, put it actually behind and out of view. Then you can use the monitor's special slot for you to move your cables through, keep them out of sight, out of the way, just for a cleaner look.
Now, that's super important, and I really want to echo on the interoperability or compatibility of between devices. And something Jeff and also Alex has educated me on is when you can connect directly from a device to a monitor, connect directly. Do not try to throw in an adapter that it adds more unknowns and variables into the connection. So that's something. Thank you, Alex, for bringing that up. Those are really 3 very compelling points. And one of the cool things we want to do today for you guys is really to kind of have Alex open up a VG58 series for you guys to see kind of what that open box experience looks like when you're thinking about your deployment, and rolling out these monitors to your campuses or offices. So, Alex, maybe I'll hand the main stage to you if you don't mind. Let us know what you're unpacking today, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, I'd love to. So today I'm going to be unboxing the VG2758-2K. We also have a 24-inch Full HD version. So if you want a bit of a smaller form factor, you don't need that, that 2K resolution, we do have an option for you. So going into the unboxing here, it's a super easy setup, what we call our pizza box design. I can very easily take out this top and we can see what's all in here. So the first thing you're going to see is your power cable. Then we have a DisplayPort cable for other different kinds of connections. Maybe you don't have a device with USB-C. We still give you a DisplayPort connector for that. Then we also have a full function USB-C cable. You'll notice that this one also comes with an adapter for USB-A connectivity. So if you already have a fully functional USB-C cable, you can use this for different peripherals, kind of depending on what your need is. This also comes with a quick setup guide. So if you don't remember how to set it up, super easy. All the information's in here. And after that, we have the base of our stand and we have the neck of our stand. I'll set these off to the
Alex,
side here.
let me stop you there a little bit. And you before you go further, you did talk about the pizza box, right? So I think that's something that is fairly unique. And if you can elaborate a little bit, what do we mean by pizza box? It does look like is it biodegradable?
Yeah, so our box is fully biodegradable. All of the bags that our components come in are also biodegradable. These are paper-based. So really helping you kind of meet your environmental goals. And by pizza box design, we mean that it opens up like a pizza box. It's super easy. We had that top bit where we had all of the different parts of the stand, all of the different connectors, all there for you. And then under that is the monitor itself, kind of set up in a way for really easy. You don't even really need to read through the guide. You see the parts that you need to connect as you need them, and you put them all together.
That's really cool. And I did remember you telling me there's a little bit like a printed instruction. It's almost like it's a very easy deployment. You don't really have to, like you said, understand how to do it. Anybody can just take a box and be ready to go, correct?
Yes, super easy.
That's really cool.
And
that's really cool.
So much time.
Absolutely. And here at ViewSonic, we're huge about sustainability too. So this is a great way, as we hear from our customers. Recycling foam is very painful, very expensive, and is not great for our environments. And hence, you see all the improvements through our carton design to really help our customers to achieve your net zero goals in the long run. Now, that's really cool. Sorry, Alex. I'm sure I think you're going to get into the panels and talk about the connectivities.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
So I can move this over here. You'll also notice that this part of the box comes down for even easier access. Then I can open up the panel right here, and I'll just start talking a bit about the connectivity. So right in the back of the monitor here, you won't be able to see it from your angle, but I have each of the labels printed out onto the monitor for ease of access, ease of use. We have over on my right side, this is just for you to plug the power into, super easy, super obvious. We have an HDMI port. So if you still need HDMI or DisplayPort, we also have both of those still in the monitor. To the right of that, we have our USB-C in. And so this is the USB-C port that you're going to be plugging your main device into. This is the USB-C port that will deliver up to 100 watts of power delivery. So charging your Mac, your laptop, even your phone if you need it, super great. Then to the left of that, we have a USB-C out port. This one, it doesn't supply any kinds of power, but what it's for is for daisy chaining. So you are going, if you want to have a daisy chaining setup, you will take your USB-C out, plug it into the in of another USB-C device, and it'll pass along that data, the video, no extra connectors required. Then after that, we have your audio jack port, your 3.5 millimeter audio out port. We have another USB-C port with up to 15 watts of power delivery. So that's more for connecting different USB-C peripherals or charging your phone if you'd like. We have one USB-A port on the back, and then your RJ45 for your Ethernet connectivity.
I mean, all I can say is this display is loaded with connectivities, and I want to go back to what Jeff talked about the connectivity options, right? So you do see the USB-C being, really taking off in the compute space, but also you do see some of these more, I guess, legacy connections that are still available on these displays. So it really gives you that flexibility on, picking what you need, and also in a way future-proofing yourself if you do need to move to the more advanced connectivities down the road. Alex, I know there's one thing that is really unique about our port design that you haven't gotten to yet. So if you can elaborate on some of the new features we built in on this particular generation.
Yeah, so that's actually something I'm super excited to show off today. So if I lift this up a little bit more, you'll be able to see on the bottom, on the chin, we have 3 additional quick access ports. We have another USB-C with up to 15 watts of charging, or up to 15 watts of power pass-through. So if you want to connect more devices, connect a mouse, all of that can be done with this USB-C. And then we also have 2 additional USB-A ports. So all of that super quick, easy access. You'll notice that a very common place to put quick access ports on monitors is usually on the side. We've opted to put it on the bottom because a complaint that we hear a lot from our customers is that if the ports are on the side, if you have a multi-monitor setup, you put your 2 monitors together, you won't be able to access those ports on the side. So by having them on the bottom, super easy access to have it on the bottom right here. And if you want to have a vertical setup, so you change one monitor to be vertical here, those ports are facing out. And this one can also go like this one like this. Ports are facing out. So there's not going to be anything that's disrupting your access to those ports.
That's really cool. Thank you. And I do want to, there's a little bit of a cheat sheet I want to share with everybody. This is, I mean, you heard a lot of USB-C ports. You got, I think we have 4 total. So each one kind of does its own thing. So, if you need more, you don't have to worry about, taking a screenshot. We'll share these information with you. But, as you can tell from a connectivity perspective, the VG58s are loaded. It's super rich, and it really depends. It doesn't really matter what platform you're on or what existing device that you might need. You might have the connectivity you might need. It's very adaptable to your existing platforms. Now, Alex, sorry, I feel like I'm interrupting you quite a bit. I'll let you finish the setup and show everybody the entire process of putting this monitor together.
Sure. So this is also something that I'm very excited to show. For even quicker setup times, we've actually upgraded how you can put together this monitor. So on a lot of previous monitors, you will have a screw at the bottom of the base plate as well as the neck to be able to connect them together. For our new design, all you have to do is click it right into place, and this is locked in. There's no screw on the bottom, super easy to put together. Then after that, you're able to take the neck of the stand, put it right here at an angle, and it's a little bit of a difficult angle for me, but super easy to just click right in, pull up and out of the pizza box design, then you are fully ready to go.
Yeah, and if I could add to that, this is part of the innovation, the subtle innovation that we've made, and we've taken feedback from our customers. So if you think way back many, many years ago, you needed a Phillips screwdriver to set up a monitor, to put the stand on and get it all set up. Then we evolved to the point where we had the hand screws. So the screws had like little notches on it where you could kind of flip it up and then screw it in. Now this is the next evolution where it just clicks in, and really, for 1 or 2 monitors doesn't really matter, but for our partners and customers that have thousands of monitors where IT has to deploy it throughout a building, that time savings is a huge benefit for them.
No, Jeff, you absolutely touched on a really critical point. I do remember speaking to customers, and they did speak about how this design will really allow them to be able to deploy more monitors in a shorter time, probably with less people. So, here at ViewSonic, we don't really just focus on the product or the hardware itself. It's about that entire experience and that entire process when you are deploying devices out, because every single second matters. So I really appreciate sharing that. Now, Alex, I do have a couple of questions for you, and there's actually a couple from our audience, and it's actually the right time. You did talk about daisy chain and you having that USB-C out. A question from one of our customers about when you're connecting to another, when you want to daisy chain to another monitor, do you have to use another VG58, or you can use any USB-C monitors? I know you were going to share a little bit about a companion display here too. I think this is a great moment to share that conversation.
Yeah, of course. So just getting back to the original question, can you use any USB-C port or any USB-C monitor as the endpoint of your daisy chain setup? The answer is yes. As long as you have a USB-C on that other monitor, you can very easily pass through via the USB-C out from the VG58 over to that other monitor. And then speaking of the other monitor, we actually have a companion model for this, for the VG58, that is our VG52 series. So that comes in the same sizes, same resolution. So we have a 24-inch that is full HD and a 27-inch that is 2K. And the great thing about those is they look exactly the same as the VG58. However, we take off a couple of those additional ports. We don't have a docking station built in to give you additional cost savings. So if you want to have a nice, clean dual monitor setup, you just need a VG58 and a VG52, and they will look exactly the same, but have a little bit different functionality so that you're not paying for those extra features of a second VG58. So some of the key differences you're going to find, we're taking out a couple different ports. So we're taking out the audio jack because you only need one. We're taking out the Ethernet port because you only need one. And then we're also reducing the USB-C power pass-through on the 52s. So those ones will only pass through up to 65 watts of charge, but that is totally fine because you're connected to the VG58 that is passing through up to 100 watts of charging.
That is super cool, because I think, again, going back to my previous point about that entire experience, right? We do have these solutions thought out so that it gives you a very clean deployment if that's what you need, but obviously it is compatible with any USB-C displays to be the endpoint. Now, another question is related, Alex. Can you share a little bit about how many, another customer is asking, how many displays can you daisy chain up to with the VG58? I know we have two sizes and two resolutions, so if you can speak to both.
Sure. So daisy chaining and the amount of monitors that you can daisy chain up to is always going to be dependent on your device's graphics card. So the more powerful your graphics card, the more devices you'll be able to daisy chain to and at higher resolutions. For the 24-inch Full HD, you can daisy chain up to 4 24-inch monitors at Full HD. And then with the 27-inch, you can daisy chain up to 2 2K monitors, or if your graphics card has display screen compression, you are going to be able to daisy chain up to 3 2K resolution monitors.
Got it. And that's including your laptop or that additional screen. So thank you very much.
That's actually, that's actually a great point to bring up. If you're using a laptop, your laptop counts as one of those displays. So if you have a laptop and you're using the full HD version, you can only have 3 additional monitors connected. If you are using a PC tower that doesn't have a display, you can do the 4 full HD monitors.
Got it. No, thank you. And then another question from audience is to, we show the assembly, but we also talked about ergonomics. Can you ranges of movements and adjustments you can make with the stand?
Yeah, of course. So this stand comes with full ergonomics, and what that means is it has height adjusts, it gets very low, comes up very high. We have pivot, so you can go a full 90 degrees. And like I mentioned, those quick access ports are on the side, so super easy access to those still. You have a lot of range for pivot if you're sharing your screen with somebody, or sorry, for swivel. And then you also have about 35 degrees of tilt. So if you have a lot of people crowding around you, if you are standing up at your desk, you want to have that great range of tilt to be able to more easily see your screen.
Absolutely. No, thank you, Alex, for showing that. We actually cover a lot about the VG58. I know I'm guilty. I kind of prolong the process a little bit, but you can see it is super easy to put together. It's loaded with connectivities. Alex, I know you need to get ready to show us the Thunderbolt 4 display. So I'll let you go, get set up. In the meantime, I want to turn to Mudo. Jeff, if you can help me with some of the questions as we think about, Thunderbolt. But before we go there, I guess, some clarifications, right? USB-C, as you talked about, it's on almost everything, our phones, our cars, laptops, or anything you can, chargers, I mean, you name it. It has been a little bit confusing, really. Can you share a little bit like that journey, and what are some of the versions that are out there we need to be aware of?
Yeah, so and I think USB in general has been confusing through the years, and it's gotten somewhat more confusing. So everyone's familiar with USB-A, USB-B. You might have some of those cables still left in your drawer that are used, and then and really, as each generation of USB has evolved, the thing that they've improved is kind of the throughput of data or power and different things like that to be more powerful cables, essentially. And currently, we're on USB 3.2 Gen 2 -2, I guess, because there's actually two versions of that. And now at the Consumer Electronics Show this year, they also introduced a USB 4. And I think the key thing to remember is that so when you go to USB 4, it'll be backward compatible. However, if you start at one of the early generations of USB-C, it will not be forward compatible, meaning that you may not get the full throughput of data or power delivery and things like that. So it's one of the key things to remember is also that you need to get the right cable. So for example, if you take your cable that you use to charge your Android or iPhone and try to use it to power your monitor and also get all of the, run 4K video as well as power delivery, it's probably not going to work because that cable is not rated for that. So that's one thing that you need to remember. It's not just the display, but make sure you get the right cable. So that's why you'll see differences in price where, a simple charging cable for your mobile device might be $5, whereas another video cable that can also pass audio, video, Ethernet data, as well as power delivery might cost significantly more. So there is a difference in the cables, although they all look very similar.
Absolutely. I guess the takeaway here is, guys, you got to look at your specs, look at your endpoint, what is available there, and match it up with the performance you need to reach and get the right monitor that has the right port. I know the cable that we provide in the box is a full function that will support 100-watt cable, so you don't have to worry about that right out of the box. Now, Mudo, I guess I hate to do this, but I guess to make things even worse, Thunderbolt 4 actually uses the same USB-C port as well. So can you share a little bit about Thunderbolt 4s for the audience? How is it different than USB-C? All the different generations of it in terms of performance.
So Thunderbolt 4, as you mentioned, Kenneth, the connector itself is identical in terms of look, feel, size. So if you take a Thunderbolt cable and plug it into USB port, it'll fit right in. Same thing. You take a USB-C cable, plug it into a Thunderbolt port, it will fit right in. One easy way to tell where you plug it in is if it is a Thunderbolt, you'll see a lightning bolt there. So that's kind of the icon that they use to designate that this is a Thunderbolt cable. And Thunderbolt's actually been around for a while. It was co-developed with Intel and Apple, which is why you predominantly see it on Apple devices today. However, we are starting to see it on quite a few higher-end PC-based devices. And reason for that is on the higher end, really when you look at the two, USB-C today is used for more general use. So if you're doing PowerPoints, spreadsheets, things like that. And then as you take a step up to what a lot of Mac users are doing, like high-end graphics with very high resolutions and things like that, the throughput of the data and power delivery and things on Thunderbolt is much higher. So if you think of it as a pipe, you can only get so much data back and forth through it. Thunderbolt can not only do more, but do it faster than USB-C, which is why it's on the higher end devices at this point, or higher end endpoints at this point.
That is very interesting. And I see a couple of questions from the audience. I'll try my best to answer. There's one question from our audience asking, what is the part number for the companion display or our partner display that you can use to work with the VG24 or 2758? So that will be the VG52 series. It'll be 24 and 2752. And I have another question. I guess I might have to either direct this to either Jeff or Alex. A customer is asking, well, assuming I'm using a laptop and I have the lid closed, so I'm technically not using that display, can I still maximize the number of daisy chainable setups in my daisy chainable monitors in my setup?
Yeah, I can actually take this one. That's something that that's something that depends. You're probably not going to be able to maximize how many you can do if you still keep that laptop closed. But if you have a powerful laptop with a very powerful graphics card, it is possible. So it just depends on your setup.
Got it. Oh, well, by the way, Alex, welcome back. We'll get to that Thunderbolt 4 display in very shortly, but another question from audience, and Muda, I'll direct it to you. It says, what is the maximum distance, the cable length that we can to get full functionality?
So generally it's 1 meter, so roughly 3 feet is very safe to allow everything through. Now, there are cables that go longer, 2 meters and even more. But it's all dependent on the quality of the cable. And as you go longer, you start to get some signal degradation where not enough power flows through or different things. So I think the quick answer is 1 meter is safe. You can probably go to 2 meters as well with USB-C and then still kind of maintain the throughput. But as you go longer, it does become a bit riskier. And that's why you'll see the incremental cost jump in the cables as you go longer is pretty significant. So they start to get pretty pricey.
That's important to share that, because I think these are little things we are so used to seeing every day, but it might not be something natural that comes naturally to our customers. So no, it's that's a super good point. Thank you. Now I do want Alex, maybe take whatever we have left for the webinar, introduce us to the VP2776 that you have set up there.
Yeah, so this is the VP2776T-4K. That T denotes that it is a Thunderbolt monitor, and the -4K denotes that it is a 4K panel, so 4K resolution, ultra high definition, kind of whatever nomenclature you'd like to use. This is a really nice quality panel. It also is a docking station monitor, so we have that RJ45 Ethernet port, we have USB-A and USB-C ports in this in order for maximum amount of connectivity and help you reduce your total cost of ownership. You don't have to buy an additional dock with this monitor. So when we talk about having a professional grade panel, this is one of what we're talking about, where we have a nice high resolution panel, and it also has very high color gamuts. So this one has sRGB up to 100%, not up to, it has 100% coverage of sRGB color gamut. It also has 98% coverage of the DCI-P3 color gamut. And that might not mean a lot to some people, but for creatives, for professionals, that's really important to be able to have those color gamuts, be able to see those colors on your monitor so that you know that the color you are looking at on your monitor is going to be the same, whether it's on somebody else's monitor, whether it's printed, whether it's plastered on the side of a building. It's always going to be the exact same shade as what you were looking at on your monitor.
And just speaking from, thank you, Alex. And speaking from experience, I know that for the professional monitors that we have here at ViewSonic, most of them are calibrated right out of the factory. So when you open up the box, is ready to go. You don't have to worry about color accuracies or color matching. And over time, you know, just like cables, you know, a panel could degrade over time. And but these are hardware calibration ready to go. So further down the road, if you need to calibrate these monitors, you can access the lookup table of the display and be able to bring it back to what it was, you know, when it was out of the factory. So it gives you a lot of longevities and that premium functionality. Thank you very much, Alex. And it's great to know that some of these professional monitors also get the docking capabilities, which is not very common in the market. Now, I guess, you know, maybe Alex, so we've talked about the VG58s, and Mudo shared a lot of the intricate details about connectivities, and you showed us the Thunderbolt display. I guess for the audience, I'm sure a lot of folks are wondering then, which way should I go? How should we think about that? How should we help our customers think about that?
Yeah, so you'll hear a lot that Thunderbolt 4 is kind of just the better version of USB-C. However, it really depends on your setup. If you really need up to 40 gigabits per second of data transfer, if you're doing multiple 5K monitors daisy chaining, you're gonna have to go with Thunderbolt. However, if you don't need as much, maybe you're only daisy chaining 2K resolution, you're only daisy chaining full HD, then USB-C has a much lower cost on average, so it's a little bit easier to get into.
No, that's really cool. No, thank you for sharing that. And again, like I said, right, these monitors are loaded with connectivities, and even if you're not quite ready to upgrade just yet, and you have HDMI-based laptops or devices or DisplayPort for that matter, these displays are also ready to go as well. Now, I guess we have talked a lot about the features and products of these products that we're bringing to the market right now. Before we end today, I love to kind of pick your brain because you guys are working on these roadmaps and products all the time. Can you guys give me a little bit of a sneak peek into maybe what's coming up? Maybe what is the product or monitor that you're most excited about for this year? I'll go to Mudo first.
Okay, for me, it's actually something that's not yet announced. It'll be announced in March, so we're only a couple days away. But it's the VP2778 5K, and so that's a 5K Thunderbolt display. So it did drop the T, and this one's very special because it is 5K. It's also a daisy chain docking station display, so you could do a dual 5K setup. And the one very unique thing is that it was designed with an Apple aesthetic, so it perfectly matches your MacBook or whatever other Apple device that you have. So really an exciting product that's really targeted towards certain customers. Now, it will also work with PC, but it was developed and designed with the Mac user in mind.
That's really cool. I know our marketing team will be excited about that product for sure. Alex, what about you? I know you mentioned you're a gamer, but what is the monitor that excites you the most that you can share with the audience?
Yeah, so this is another monitor that is going to be announced next month. And it is the XG275D-4K. It's really exciting to me because as a gamer, I like to play a bunch of different types of games. And with that, I have different needs. And so this is going to be ViewSonic's first dual refresh rate or switchable refresh rate monitor. So you can do 4K resolution at 160 hertz refresh rate, or you can do 320 hertz refresh rate at full HD.
Wow.
So if I'm playing a single player game, I really want to be immersed in the world. I want to see everything with pixel perfect clarity. I'm going to want that 4K resolution at 160 hertz. And 160 hertz is still very fast, especially for 4K resolution. But if I swap over to a first-person shooter game or something a lot more competitive, I'm going to prioritize having a much faster refresh rate. So that's where that 320 hertz at full HD resolution will come into play. And it's super easy to swap between them. There's a button on the back. You just click it and it swaps. Super nice, super versatile.
Wow, that is so cool. I'm personally, if you ask me, I'm excited about the Apple display, but you know, Alex, the way you definitely sold me on the dual refresh rate setup. Just having that toggle is so cool. Well, Guys, oh my God, I can't believe we're almost at the top of the hour. I want to, say thank you to our audience for making the time. I know everybody's very busy, so I hope the information today is helpful to you. And I want to thank my colleagues, Alex and Jeff, for being here and spending the time with our audience. I'm personally very excited about the monitors, and you know who to reach out to, your ViewSonic team, if you have further questions. I know I didn't get to all the questions today. We will send out the recording of this webinar for your review, and we're also going to be addressing those questions to you individually after the webinar. Again, my name is Kenneth. This is a ViewSonic webinar. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for being here with us. I hope this is informative. We'll see you in the next one.